Hello guys, it's Corey here, aka Wanted by Childhood, and I'm wanting to review the Datamined Shaman spells and talents. I think they look pretty good and I want to give my own point of view. I do not have a video cam capture right now. I mean I do, but I just not looking the brightest today. So I'm using Pepe or Peepo Comfy for just whatever the fuck the reason is. This is my first video, so there's not gonna be like an outro or intro or whatever really much. I'm just overviewing what I'm gonna be doing in this video. It's gonna be small, short, and sweet. Hopefully I can get the devs to watch this video also by tweeting them out to fucking Twitter. Other than that, I just give a rundown on what I am to the game. So I've gotten 2 times KSM. I got my elite set in season 2, which isn't really a big deal considering it's only 1800, but I had the chance to push to 2100, but I got lazy and didn't want to. Season 2 I got KSM from the guild, which I'm not in anymore, and then season 3 I got KSM through just pugging. Overall, the experience was not really too bad. I guess I started a little bit earlier than others, so it wasn't that much of a rush or hassle. So, let's get into what I wanted to go through. And let's move Pepe. There we go. Easy. Alright. So, Gust of Wind seems to be coming back, and I am really happy about that because I've seen people use this in Legion, and it looked pretty fun. So, I'm glad that they are giving us this utility back. It's nice because I would rather have another goblin rocket to use than on every race than just having to switch to goblin just to get out of like stuff in the ground and whatever, like sanguine and over some stuff, because you know it's a bitch walking over. The Covenants. To be honestly, I don't. Chain Harvest is really good, but some of these are really good, except for, like, we really need our Unity for these to work pretty well, or really well. Like, Chain Harvest, like, the Unity gives us 5 Riptides and 5 Flame Shocks. Primordial Wave, I guess we don't need Primordial Wave Unity because it only gives us haste. We don't really need haste. I mean, we do, but we don't. But Chain Harvest would lose value if we don't have our Unity. Vesper Totem, we definitely use value without our Unity. Just does more damage and healing every 3 cast of your abilities, damage and healing wise, like 3 healing spells, 3 damage spells. I played Vesper Totem most of the like season 2, season 3. Hoping that this stays in Dragonflight, but at the end of the day I don't really care. Like I've used Chain Harvest sometimes. I like the ability, I just don't like it being a long cast. But it's really smooth with Cloudburst Totem if you want to use that or try that in Mythic Plus. All in all, Primordial Wave would work with Raid, PvP, and then Chain Harvest and Vesper Totem would work in both Raid and PvP, or not PvP, excuse me, Raid and Mythic Plus. I don't really see Primordial Wave being a thing for Mythic Plus, only because, you know, I guess now we have Acid Rain. Primordial Wave is just mostly a healing spell. Like it gives an extra Riptide, and then every Riptide target gets healed by your healing wave, which is really good. But all in all, I'd like to see Primordial Wave stay and Vesper Totem stay. Chain Harvest is clearly going to be probably an ability for enhancement Shaman, but yeah, that's about it. Speculated Shaman general class talents. This is a passive, I believe. Increases leech and avoidance by 3%. I feel like that's pretty decent. Ancestral Wolf Affinity. Cleanse Spirit, Wind Shear, Purge, and Totem Cast no longer cancel Ghost Wolf. I feel like this is really good, I guess, if you want mobility and you need to purge something or kick something or cleanse and totem. I guess, yeah, this is really good, I guess, if you want to have the mobility while needing to use utility. So, all in all, I guess this is pretty good. Ancient Ankh Talisman. While Reincarnation is off cooldown, your maximum health is increased by 10%. While you're at full health, Reincarnation cooldown 25% faster. This is really good, I guess, if you want like a passive effect. Gives you increased health, and then I think we have Earth Elemental, which also increases health, which is really good. And then the Reincarnation's cooldown is 75% faster. Reincarnation is probably a good lifesaver, but then there's times when you're in the middle of a pack, and then you die, and then everyone else dies, and then you can't reincarn. So, but Reincarnation is really good if you need to Reincarnation in the middle of a fight, which is really good. So 75% faster is better than no cooldown percent faster. Astral Bulwark reduces. Okay, so this is just an additional like rank for Astral. So I guess by default we're gonna only have 20%, and then this is gonna just increase it by 20%. I can only see that be used in like, I don't know, in every situation, I guess. Just because of how broken Astral Shift is with like damage reduction. Call of the Elements resets the cooldown of your most recently used totem with a base cooldown shorter than 3 minutes. I guess this is really good for your higher cooldown abilities, but it's a base shorter for like any totem, I think, under 3 minutes. So I guess this is good, but I guess it's only one totem. It's like most recently. Okay, so I guess that's pretty good. I don't. Call of the Elements seem broken, but if it's mostly recently used totem, I don't know. I don't know how that would work, because we only, right now, going based off of what we have right now, we only have like Cloudburst Totem, Healing Stream Totem. We have Tremor, I think, but it's like mostly recent. So I guess Cloudburst Totem would probably be the most for Restoration Shaman. So I guess that's different. This is general talents or class, by the way. So this isn't like elemental and stuff. If you read this. Call of Thunder increases the damage of your lightning bolt, chain of lightning, and storm elemental by 15%. This is really good. I guess this is a baseline or not baseline, passive. It doesn't say like this 3-minute cooldown. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. This seems like a passive. I guess this is really good if you're lacking in damage with your chain lightning or lightning bolt and storm elemental, but like we don't have storm elemental for Shaman restoration, so I guess you'd be using this for lightning bolt and chain lightning. Deeply rooted elements. Casting Lava Burst Riptide using Storm Strike has a 7% chance to activate a sentence for 6.0 seconds. I can see this be used in as a restoration spec, most likely. The problem with that is if we have the Ascendance talent for Restoration or Baseline, that is a lot of Ascendance that I feel like you don't really need. So I guess this is good. I don't know. I never used this legendary ever, but apparently this is really good for Elemental for PvP. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see how this goes, or if this is ever implemented. Creation Core, call of the elements effects an additional totem. Calls forth a greater earth elemental to protect you and your allies for 1 minute. While this elemental is active, your maximum health is increased by 15%. This is pretty good if you want extra health so you don't get one shot by mechanics. That's like usually baseline of what that is. Speaking of earth elemental, I kind of want them to bring back Deep Tremor, but I'll go into later when we go to the restoration spec. Earth Shield protects the target with an Earthen Shield. This is baseline. This is increasing your healing on them by 20%. Oh, wait, what the fuck? Increasing your healing on them by 20% and healing them for spell power when they take damage. The heals can occur once every few seconds, maximum 9 charges. Earth Shield could only be placed on target at one time. What the fuck? I don't remember healing on the... Oh. Huh. I guess I never read Earth Shield. What the fuck? That's weird. So, yeah, that's pretty good. I never knew that healing them by 20% increased when you had this on someone. That's interesting. Earth Shock Overload instantly shocks the target with concussive force, causing spell power and nature damage. If this is baseline, I really like to see this become a thing, right? But I also want a passive that will give like a 15% or 20% chance on interrupting a spell cast, because I feel like this is really good in TBC, and I think it was Wrath, where Earthshock had a chance as a passive to interrupt someone's cast, and I feel like that's a great utility to have like 2 kicks, because I feel like right now, or not right now, but like in the future for Dragonflight, everyone and their mother that's a healer is gonna have a kick, I feel like. So 2 kicks, or like a chance at a second kick, would feel really good. Now obviously it doesn't have to be that overpowered, but it could be like 10%, 15%, I don't really care. But as long as this like is back to where it used to be, I feel like this would be good. I don't know about elemental enhancement, but restoration seems pretty good. Elemental orbit increases the number of elemental shields you can have active by yourself and another target. So you can just have Earth Shield on multiple targets. This is probably really good for PvP. I feel like this is also really good for PvE. If there's like a squishy player in the Mythic Plus or Raid, where you can just add that onto someone while having the other one on the tank. This is really good for synergy wise, because I guess that I didn't even know that 20% increase for someone that has Earth Shield when you're healing them. I feel like that's pretty pog. Elemental Warding reduces all damage taken by 3%. I feel like this is passive. This is really good for everyone. 3% seems pretty small, but I mean, if it's just reduce all damage, I mean, that's pretty good. I don't know. I don't really know what 3% really is looking like. Enfeeblement, when Hex ends, the target is slowed by 70% for 4 seconds. I could probably see this being a fucking PvP talent. I guess this is really good for hexing someone and being able to hex someone, and then they're slowed so they can't get to their target in time if they're behind a pillar or something. But all in all, I feel like this is really good for like a niche ability or something like that. Eyes of the Eagle changes the caster viewpoint. I don't really care about that. I mean, this is pretty cool, I guess, but this is just like Farseer's sight or something like that. Flash of Lightning. Casting Lightning Bolt or casting Lightning reduces the cooldown of your nature spells by 0.25 seconds. This is really good. I mean, well, actually, yeah, this is really good. So this pretty much gives you synergy throughout all your nature spells. So if I were to go into WoW nature spells, I feel like Flame Shock is nature, so I'm casting Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning. This is reduced. Lava Burst, 8-second recharge. It's 1/4 faster, I guess. What else is there? Riptide is going to be reduced. I guess everything that has a cooldown that's nature is going to be reduced. I feel like, Hex is going to be reduced? I don't know if that's like... I don't really know if that's nature. I feel like... It's really weird. But yeah, great synergy overall. I'm glad that this is a thing, but I guess all of these are really good. It's just the way that they implement it is what is important. Focused Insight. Casting Flame Shock reduces the mana cost of your next heal by 30% and increases its healing effectiveness by 25%. This is a massive pog. Flame Shock has always been an incentive to use Lava Burst all the time because it's always a crit. But this right here incentivizes you to cast an ability. This will be very important for Healing Wave and Healing Surge. But then I can also see this be used in Chain Lightning as well. Go with the Flow reduces the cooldown of Spirit Walk by 15%. Reduces the cooldown of Gust of Wind by 5. Okay, so this is generally supposed to be good for Spirit Walk, right? Which is like the free cast, I think, or is that not? Yeah, Spirit Walker's Grace. So that gives us mobility while healing, like casting things. And then on top of that, it reduces the Gust of Wind cooldown. Yeah, this is really good, I guess, for passive. Incentivizes your Gust of Wind to be 15 seconds, the normal cooldown, instead of 20 seconds. Like I said again, it just depends on how they use the talent calculator and where they put things. Greater Purge. So you know how people complain about going against shamans in their purges? Well, they're going to hate shamans even more when they use this talent. Purges the enemy, removing 2 beneficial magic effects. You get 2 times reduction on your buffs. This is massive. I can see this be used in PvE and PvP. I feel like this would be really good for mobs that have multiple magic effects. And then like maybe raid if they have like a multiple magic effect buff on them. The only thing that I hate about Purge is that it doesn't remove enraged effects because it's not a magic effect, which is unfortunate. And I feel like if I don't have a hunter in the group, it's like a rip. Or like a Soothe from Druid. And I feel like in Dragonflight we're gonna have a lot of enrage effects in dungeons and stuff. But removing 2 magic effects is really good. I feel like this is gonna be probably the most used, just because of how broken that is. Purge automatically is broken. Oh, it's a 15-second cooldown. Oh, this isn't even a passive. This is just a... Oh, okay. My bad. So this is a passive. 15-second cooldown. Greater Purge. It doesn't have a... doesn't have like a... What even is this? This is good and it has a 15-second cooldown, but it doesn't say what duration it has. Is this like a base effect? Or like a buff on yourself that like you get to purge a target for 2 beneficial magic effects? Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I guess I didn't even pay attention to what that was. I thought it was like a passive buff, but it's an instant 15-second cooldown purge. That's interesting. Yeah, I still see this as like a very used PvP talent. Guardian Gojo, or Cudgel. When Capacitator Totem fades or destroyed, another Capacitator Totem is automatically dropped in the same place. This is really good for PvE. I don't know about PvP. The only reason why I say that is because we have DRs, so this is definitely going to be reduced by 50% on stack or on point. And then, like, then anyone who tries to stun again is going to be reduced by 25%. And then, well, lol. Or 75%, and then you can't stun for a good 20 seconds. So I can only see this be used in PvE, but I don't know. Maybe this would be good for PvP for someone that doesn't have like a stun, but I don't know. I don't think. What is even the stun? Like 3-4 seconds? So 2 seconds extra. I guess that could be good. Improved Call of Elements. Reduces the cooldown of Call of Elements by 60 seconds. I guess this could be good. Yeah, this is good. I mean, 3-minute cooldown, and then like it's 2 minutes. That's pretty good for a reduction on one of your totems. Yes, that'll be good. And then inundate or date or whatever. Your successful purge, cleansing spirit, healing, stream totem, hex, wind shear, cast 8 maelstrom during combat. This is really good, except for I don't know 8 maelstrom during combat. If this is baseline, I don't see Restoration Shaman having maelstrom for some reason. Maybe it'll give like a 2, 3, 4% mana back. But this is definitely good for elemental and enhancement, so be happy about that, I guess. Mana Spring Totem. Summons a totem at your feet for 15 seconds that restores 0 mana every 3 seconds to party members within 30 yards. Isn't this just Mana Tide Totem? I feel like this is really good, I guess, but like, oh, it's a 45-second cooldown. Well, I mean, I guess this is good because it's baseline, right? So, if this is baseline, I guess this would be good for having 2 mana totems for Restoration Shaman. Nature's Fury increases the critical strike chance of your nature spells by 4%. I guess this is really good. I wish Nature's Fury had like a critical strike chance on all your... Oh, wait. This is baseline all nature spells. Okay. I was thinking about like the suggestion that I had, like, oh yeah, nature, like a passive or buff or something. Like nature healing and nature damage is increased by 4% or 5%, but this is pretty good. Nature's Swiftness. So we're pretty much getting what Druid has, where it literally gives you instant cast and it costs no mana on a healing spell. I feel like this is really good for Healing Wave. Oh wait, what the fuck? This could be used on Chain Heal, Chain Lightning, Downpour, Earthquake, Elemental Blast, Healing Rain, Healing Surge, Healing Wave, Lightning Bolt, Stormkeeper, Wellspring. So this is basically fucking probably a very, very, very good... Like, I could see this be used as elemental for Sundering Earthquake, which is really, really good in Pog. Free Earthquake, I guess. Free Stormkeeper. I mean, that's good because it is such a bitch to fucking cast that sometimes in PvP. Healing Surge is really good. Healing Wave is such a bitch. I would probably use this mostly on Chain Heal and Healing Wave, only because of how much of a bitch it is to cast Chain Heal and Healing Wave. And then on top of that, you have we have like bad diminishing returns on haste, so massive amounts of haste isn't really that great unless you're like trying to pull off some damage. But then it falls off with healing because it uses so much mana and we cast so fast. But all in all, Nature Swiftness, pretty good. Plains Traveler reduces the cooldown of Astral Shift by 30 seconds. This is really good. Gives more synergy to utility. Poison Cleansing Totem. When I read this, I actually was so fucking happy. The reason for this is because there's some, if not most, that have poison effect on dungeons, and not being able to decurse that because, you know, it's not magic, it's just poison, is so bad. And I feel so bad that I have to heal someone because they're taking so much damage off of a fucking poison effect. So overall, this is really good. I can see this be used a lot. Refreshing Waters. Your healing surge is 25% more effective on yourself. This is literally a conduit. This is really good, I guess, for yourself. For survivability. That's probably about it, though. Spiritual Journey. While Ghost Wolf is active, the remaining cooldown and Feral Spirit recovers 200% faster. This is definitely... I read this. This was like a 500% for Legion. As a enhancement shaman. This is really good for enhancement. I can definitely say that. But the weirdest thing is like staying in Ghost Wolf for a long amounts of time. But since Feral Spirits isn't that long, I feel like 200% faster is pretty good. Oh no, they're having a time of their life. Stone Skin Totem. Summons a totem at your feet for 15 seconds reducing physical damage taken party members within 30 yards by 10%. This is pretty much, I guess, a baseline reduction on physical damage compared to Earthen Wall. This is just damage from each attack, and then that's like baseline. Stone Skin is just baseline physical damage reduction. I can probably see that be used a lot. And this is like, I think, every party member too. So that's really good. This is probably going to be used a lot in Raid. Spirit Walker's Aegis. When you cast Spirit Walker's Grace, you become immune to silence and interrupt effects for 5 seconds. This is, if this is baseline, I'm pretty sure this is a fucking PvP talent. This is really good. You cannot get silence or interrupts effects. So if you're casting and, you know, say, let's go to Sanguine Depths for a second. If they're casting that ability that immune or silences you, and you know that it's casted on you, because it even tells you if you have like a DBM or whatever, you can just press this and then you won't get silenced or interrupted or whatever. This works well with quaking, I'm pretty sure. And I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing a lot of quaking in fucking Dragonflight just because it's a fix that I don't believe that they're going to want to remove. By the way, move explosive and necrotic. No one likes that. Fuck that shit. For 5 seconds, that's pretty good. Thunderous Pause. Ghost Wolf removes snares and increases your movement speed by an additional 25% for the first 3 seconds. May only occur every 60 seconds. I believe this is a conduit. This is pretty good, I guess, if you want to use it, but if depending on where it is on the talent calculator, I guess it just depends. Overall, this is probably just a niche ability to help you out with movement and getting out of snares. Totemic Focus increases the radius of all your talents effects by 15%, increases the duration of your Earthbond and Earth Grab totem by 10 seconds, increases the duration of your Healing Stream, Mana, Tremor, Poison, and Rush totem by 3 seconds. I definitely 110% see this being a fucking Abyss talent to use or want. The reason why I say this is because of the duration of Earthbind and Earth Grab, which is the best, probably one of the best CC fucking things ever for Shaman. And then also duration of your healing spells and utility spells by 3 seconds. Even though it's small, 3 seconds is pretty big. So I can see that be used a lot. Totemic Surge reduces the cooldown of your totems by 4 seconds. I think this is like a passive or whatever, so this is, I guess, pretty good. You want as much totems as possible. Tranquil Air Totem summons a totem at your feet for 20 seconds that prevents cast pushback and reduces the duration of all incoming interrupt effects by 50% for party members within 30 yards. This is pretty good if you have like 70% cast group, right? And then maybe like one melee DPS. I can see this be used a lot in raid though. All in all, this is pretty good too. Like, they're giving us a lot of utility stuff to play around with, and I'm glad to see this all of this come back. Or I guess it's come back. Yeah. Winds of Alakir increases the movement speed bonus of Wolf Ghost by 10%, which is decent. When you have 3 or more totems active, your movement speed is increased by 15%. I don't really know how totems are going to work in Dragonflight. I know that sometimes you'll be able to stack totems, but I don't know about like 3 or more. Speculated Elemental Shaman talents. Echo of Chamber increases the damage dealt by your elemental overloads by 15%. This is really good. Gives you more damage of your Stormkeeper. Echo of Sundering, this is really good because of the 120% bonus damage from your fucking Earthquake. I've always used this when I was playing Elemental Shaman in Season 2 and Season 3. Electrified Shocks, Ice Fury causes your Frost Shocks deal additional damage up to 8 additional enemies and target hit. Listen, I like this, but I don't see it being used as an Elemental Shaman. Like, honestly, in my opinion, I mean, I guess if you're using Ice Fury, sure, but in decency, I feel like it's just not. If we have our tier for enhancement, I can see Ice Fury be played because of the bonus damage with you have a Frost Spirit Beast or Spirit Wolf, but I don't know. I feel like this is just a niche ability. Elemental Blast, I've seen people use this. It just generates Maelstrom, gives you critical strike and haste mastery and stuff like that. Elemental Equilibrium, I never use this for legendary. All damage dealt 15% for 10 seconds. I feel like this is pretty good. Can only occur every 30 seconds. It's pretty good, I guess. Eye of the Storm reduces the Maelstrom of cost of Earth Shock and Earthquake by 10. Reduces the Maelstrom cost of Elemental Blast by 15. This is really good for synergy, I guess, if you want to use Earth Shock and Earthquake a lot. Flames of the Cauldron. Flame Shock's damage over time effect now occurs 15% more quickly. This is really good because of the... this reminds me of the overtime effect on Flame Shock when it comes to Torghast. 40% is really fast and gives you free Lava Burst procs. So 15% more quickly is a pog in my opinion. Flames of the Firelord reduces the cooldown of Flame Shock by 3 seconds. This is really good, I guess, for... well, I mean, of course it's really good. It's really good for spreading all your Flame Shocks on everything, because with this, it'll give you 15% more faster, and the more that you have, it pretty much gives more percent. It like stacks, so a lot of flame lava bursts, and then if we have our tier for Elemental Shaman, it'll increase the duration of our elemental by a mile, which is really good. Casting Frost Shock increases the damage to your next lava burst by 20%. This is really good This is massively good. This is pretty much the legendary for elemental where you use Earth Shock and then it increases your lava burst by 20%, but you're using Frost Shock instead. I feel like this is really good for synergy wise, considering that you're always gonna have Frost Shock and it's gonna be like a 6-second cooldown, so you're always gonna have like a 20% lava burst every 6 seconds if you use this passive. So overall, that's pretty good. Improve Flame Tongue weapon. Imbuing your weapon with Flame Tongue increases your fire spell damage by 5% for 1 hour. Oh god. Oh, they changed it. Okay, so fire spell damage by 5%. This is good. Flame Tongue. Well, yeah, improved Flame Tongue. Flame Tongue was honestly so bad that no one used it other than enhancement shaman, because of the offhand talent, which is, yeah, I don't know. I'm glad they changed it though. For the beyond, casting Earth Shock Earthquake while Ascendance is active extends the duration of Ascendance by 2 seconds. Casting Elemental Blast while Ascendance is active extends the duration of Ascendance by 3%, or 3 seconds. 3% more. This is really good if you're playing Ascendance. I can see this be used a lot. It's a good incentive to use Ascendance. I've never seen anyone use Ascendance unless it's PvP for elemental. Overall, pretty good. High voltage lightning bolt generates. How far are we? Holy shit. We're already at 30 fucking minutes. Overall, I went over these. I feel like these are really good. It just depends on what they. Surging Shield is really good also. I guess I'll just go through one thing. Swirling Currents. This is on elemental. I don't know why, honestly. If it's for restoration or for every class, Swirling Currents I could see pretty good. But if this is for like elemental by default, yikes. This should be a restoration. This is a restoration conduit by default in Shadowlands. But this is for like anything else. I feel like this is a really bad. Because this is synergy wise for restoration, right? But like you can increase its healing surge, and which I guess you could see is really good if you're using healing stream totem off CD, if you're elemental or enhancement. But I don't know, either put it on restoration or make it baseline. But yeah, yeah. Holy shit. Okay, so Acid Rain. I wanted them to bring this talent from Torghast. Or not talent, excuse me. Power from Torghast, because this is really good. But. I want them to make a multiple node where you choose either Acid Rain or Elemental Deep Tremor. The reason why I say this is because you get to choose. You're not missing out on anything. You have a consistent damage on Healing Rain and then healing on top of that, or you can choose the massive big boy that helps the group and helps the tank with AoE aggro, and then on top of that you're doing damage. So it gives you more of an incentive to use elemental all the time. So I feel like this is really good if this was like a multiple node where you choose between Acid Rain and Deep Tremor. Please, Blizzard, don't fuck this up. Make this a thing. Okay, that's what I wanted to talk about with the Acid Rain and Deep Tremor. Ancestral Awakening. When you critically heal with your healing wave, your healing surge, or riptide, you summon an ancestral spirit to aid you, instantly healing the lowest percentage health-friendly party or raid target within 40 yards for 10 to 20% of the amount of healed. This is ranked, obviously, because 10%, 20%. This is really good. I'm glad to see this be a thing for Raid and Mythic Plus. I'm pretty sure this is going to be working really well in PvP as well to save someone. All in all, this is really good. Ancestral Reach increases the healing of Chain Heal by 8% and causes it to bounce additional time. Even though it's a low percentage, I feel like this is really good for healing. Just to give an incentive on Chain Heal because of how fucking slow Chain Heal and Healing Wave is. All in all, pretty good. I'm glad to see this. Earth Harmony. Earth Shield healing is increased by 100% if your Earth Shield target is below 75% health. Healing Wave and Healing Surge add a stack of Earth Shield to your target, up to 9 maximum stacks. This is a legendary, and I'm glad to see this return because it gives an incentive to use Healing Wave. Oh, and Healing Surge. Okay, they must have changed it, but it gives a Earth Shield to your target, which is really good. It adds an Earth Shield and then gives you incentive to use Healing Wave and Healing Surge. Pretty pog in my opinion. Earth Living Weapon. We never had abuse for Shaman as a restoration ever. We pretty much didn't even have it for Elemental either. But Earth Living Weapon is looking promising as fuck, dude. We used Shadow Core Oil instead, which is, I guess, decent. It gave, like, damage, and, like, Embalmers gave, like, a Absorption Shield, which is okay, I guess. It uses Shaman Weapon, the Earth and Life, which gives you your Riptide Healing Wave and Healing Surge and Chain Healing. A 20% chance to trigger Earth Living on target. Healing an additional 4% of spell power, whatever that is, over 12 seconds, the last 60 minutes. This is definitely really good, especially it gives like a hot on the target. So I'm glad to see an imbue weapon for Shaman. Earth Warden increases the healing of Earth Living by 30%. Earth Living always triggers on a target below 25% of Earth maximum, 25% of their maximum health. I'm gonna assume that this is a passive for the imbue weapon. This is really good, I guess. And then it also like triggers on a target below 25%. I guess it could save lives. Flow of the Tides. Casting Chain Heal on a target affected by Riptide. It consumes Riptide, increasing the healing of your Chain Heal by 30%. This is massive. The cast time, like I've said, on Chain Heal is so ridiculously fucking slow. And the healing is just so bad that I'm glad to see this be a passive or return for Chain Heal. Especially when we lose our tier set. Healing Rain Visual. I don't know what this is, honestly. It's like an instant 10-second cooldown. Calls forth healing range to blanket the area. I guess this is just a cooldown for instant healing rain, which is, I guess, good. But when I read this, it just doesn't make much sense. But I guess it's just another healing rain. Living Stream Totem, we know what this is. Healing Stream Totem heals for 10% more each time it ticks. This is literally a Living Tide Totem PvP talent, but for Healing Stream Totem. This is really good, I feel like, and then it's like 10% more healing each time it ticks. This is massive. Gives more incentive to use a Living Stream. The only problem that I see with this, honestly, is I hope that they don't, excuse me if I'm loud. I hope that if they don't, the problem with Healing Stream right now, or where the fuck is it? Living Stream. The problem with Healing Stream is that it's a talent, or not talent. Cloudburst literally changes Healing Stream, and I hate using it. I want to use Flash Flood a lot, but Cloudburst is so broken and overpowered as fuck. Because it consumes every heal of like 30% of every heal, and it like stacks. And fun fact, if you hover over it, it actually tells you how much it consumed. And mostly all the time you want to use this for both raiding and Mythic Plus. You don't ever use Cloudburst for PvP just because you don't ever use Haste because you're using Mastery and crit and like everything else. So I wish I could use Flash Flood a lot, but you know, it is what it is. I just hope that they fix that so I can use Flash Flood and Cloudburst if I wanted to, or Flash Flood and just like this Living Stream Totem or whatever buff. Mana Tide Totem summons a totem at your feet for 8 seconds, granting 100% increased mana regeneration to allies within 20 yards. This is just a mana regeneration. This is pretty much like mana stream totem or whatever, I guess. But instead, this is just a restoration. So I guess we're gonna probably have both if we wanted to use it, which is, I think, is really good. Gives more mana back. Nature's Focus. The primary target of your chain heal is healed for additional 20%. This is really good also because it, gives more healing to chain heal. It just sucks fucking casting it, and it doesn't do much compared to a Healing Surge. Overflowing Shores. Healing Rain instantly restores health to 6 allies when its radius is increased by 1 yard. This is really good, but like, I don't know about the 1 yard part. 1 yard seems literally lackluster. I would see it maybe like 5 yards or 10 yards, but 1 yard is just... Why is this even here? Get rid of it. Primal Tide Core. This is a very strong legendary that I see people using all the time at raid. I definitely don't be using this in fucking Mythic Plus though, because of the damage that Deep Tremor does, and then you have it every 4 seconds because you have it for the cooldown of Elemental is 5 seconds, but you're clearly having it for 1 minute, so that's 4 minutes. So, seeing this in a talent, I can see this be used a lot, and I'm glad to see this return. Whoops. Overall, pretty good, pretty pog. You could use this with like Deep Tremor maybe and like Acid Rain, but it's pretty good. Primordial Fury. Your healing critical strikes heal for 25% healing instead of the usual 200%. I guess this is pretty good. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't feel the 200%. I don't know if this is like an actual thing that we have right now. But I guess this is really good. 250% is very big. Overcharge your mana for 8 seconds, increasing your haste by 10% and healing done by 10% while overcharge your mana reduction is halted. This, I feel like this is really good for a buff. 30-second cooldown, yes. It's a buff every 30 seconds. Yes, this is really good. Mana reduction is halted, that doesn't matter. I guess this is for 8 seconds, increasing your haste and healing done by 10%. I guess if I ever use this, I'm not going to stack haste as much. I'm going to use crit and mastery more. You don't really need mastery all that much, but I guess like I've used massive amount of mastery and it didn't seem like it did much. I guess it's because I lacked fucking crit a lot of the time. But overall, this is really good. I can see this be used. Undercurrent. For each Riptide active on an ally, your heals are 1% more effective. I don't see this being used at all. 1% more effective? Yikes. For each Riptide active on a tower, your heals are 1% more effective. Obviously, this stacks, but like, I still don't see this being used. Buff this by 2% or maybe 3%, and you'll see people using this. 1% I feel like is just too low. You like 4% more effective seems pretty low. Every time I see like something that has like a 4%, 3%, 2%, I feel like it's just too fucking low compared to like all the other things. Like additional 20% seems pretty fucking low for a chain heal. You know? I'm not mad, I don't know why. I have like a potty mouth, so. Unleash Life Wellspring. I guess they just implemented Wellspring into Unleash Life, which is, I guess, pretty good. Pretty pog. I don't know. I don't use Wellspring because I don't raid. I don't raid at all, but I will be most likely raiding in Season 4 because of the Dinar tokens. But other than that, I don't... Or the Slime Kitty too, but other than that, the Slime Kitty and the Dinar tokens, I don't see myself raiding that much. But seeing this in Dragonflight, I'll probably be raiding. I don't know. I'm just set to see what I feel like. I'm having a kid soon, so I don't know how much free time I'll actually have when Dragonflight comes. Water Token Mastery. Consuming Tidal Waves reduces the cooldown of Healing Stream, Healing Tide, Mana Spring, Mana Tide, and Poison Cleansing Totem by 0.25 seconds. What is this? Consuming Tidal Waves. We always have Tidal Waves. I kid you not, we always have tidal waves because we're always using Riptide. This is massive. I can see this be using in every scenario whatsoever. PvE, PvP, and fucking like, you know, raid is PvE obviously, but like all in all, fucking massive talent. Literal massive. This is so good. And then last but not least, Wave Speaker's Blessing. Increases the duration of Riptide by 3 seconds. I could probably see this be used. I guess I just don't know. I just don't know if this is like a ranking or whatnot. I feel like this is probably a ranking by default, but yeah. All in all, I see they didn't really do much of enhancement. I don't know why I went over all the elemental, but yeah. All in all, I know that we don't have a calculator just yet, but I wanted to make this just because of want to just make my point of view on this. Honestly, restoration is looking good. Like I said before, make a multiple node talent choice of Acid Rain and Deep Tremor, and then it'll be fucking massive. From what I see, this is looking really good. The baseline for fucking Shaman is looking really good for general. But the Covenants, I don't know. I can just see Primordial Wave and Vesper Totem. I don't. Chain Harvest will be good if they added the 5 Flame Shock, 5 Riptide Unity, but other than that, yeah. Vesper Totem needs the Unity as well. Because we lose out on Dirge and Unity, and that's just massive. Unless they like randomly buff it or like implement the Unity inside the Vesper Totem itself, but I don't really see that happening. But yeah, just add the Unity buff onto the Vesper Totem, it should be fine. But yeah, all in all, this is just my point of view. Fucking 50-minute video, kinda bad, but I'm glad that I overviewed this, and I hope that anyone in Blizzard sees this. Hopefully that it's not that bad. And yeah. Alright, well, I don't have an outro, and I don't have an intro, and I probably won't even have a fucking, thumbnail, so this is just my first video. This is probably going to be a thing for, like, a couple more videos, and I'll probably have, like, a outro with music and stuff, and intro with music and stuff, and maybe, like, a thumbnail that I make every time, but other than that, this is pretty much it. This is the overview of my thoughts. Overall, this looks pretty good. I'm glad that they are doing this, and I'm hoping that they listen to feedback, and I guess everything all depends on what they listen to feedback and what they are wanting to do for the rows on the talent calculator. This is looking pretty good. I'm glad to see it. Alright, I'll catch you guys later. Hope you guys have a good time. Hope you guys have a good weekend or week. And then, yeah. Have fun.